Ume, Buhari has done far more than PDP in the Southeast. Welcome to the news, and please subscribe to our channel. To be notified when we post hot juicy news updates, please click on the notification bell. Okay, for saying this, I believe he has a point, which I know the Niger Bridge is going to be one of it. But let's find out other reasons he has for saying this. Stay with us, the news in detail. Former national chairman of the All Progressive Grand Alliance and federal lawmaker has represented Anambra Central Senatorial District. Senator Victor Ume shares his thought on issues of national interest with Charles Ajunwa. Your party, Apga, has now produced 3 successful governors in Anambra State. That is a feat, considering the massive opposition you have faced. As somebody who has been at the center of the battle, how do you feel? He replied, in the last gubernatorial election in Anambra State on November 6, 2021, I am very happy that despite the challenges that faced the election, we were able to win the election resoundingly. I was deeply involved in the mobilization of the electorate to vote for Apga. I have always been in the forefront of working hard to ensure that Apga does not lose Anambra State because the party produced its first governor in its fold in Anambra State, and anytime the party loses the governorship election, it will signal the end of the party. I am always desperate that Apga will ever remain alive, no matter the challenges that will be put on our way. I will put all that I can muster as a human being in terms of influence and experience to support the party to win the election. Last election happened to be one that was very testy. In other words, it was naughty, and we had to prepare ahead of time to put in a candidate who will win the election. There were scrambles in the beginning, but we did not lose focus. We had our eyes on the ball. We were determined to field a candidate that would beat the other candidate in public reckoning, so we got Professor Chieftain to be our candidate. We stood behind him very strongly, and of course, the messages we gave resonated with the people. He was actually seen as the best candidate among the lot. We are happy that in the end we were able to overcome all the hurdles, and he won the election. Apga is firmly in control in Anambra State, at least for the next 4 years. That will make it the 20th year an Apga governor will be in office. If Soludo served the next 4 years, we have done 16 years. Peter Obi did 8 years, and Willow Obiano did another 8 years, and now Soludo started 4 years with a possible 8-year run in office. With that, I believe the party will continue to have hope to be able to expand its frontiers and get into other areas. But if you had lost the last election, it would have been a pipe dream to think about going to other places. With this victory that has come our way, we need to go back to the drawing board and work hard to take Apga beyond Anambra State. We have been in Imo State, but the former governor of Imo State, Rocha Sokorocha, misappropriated the victory we got there and frittered it away. We pray that if we break into other territories, that we will not suffer what Okorocha foisted on the party in 2013 when he went away from the party with our victory. Okay. You talked about the challenges before the election. Initially, there were doubts whether the election was going to hold with the IPOB issue. The governorship election was later conducted, and it was described as one of the elections that had the brightest and best in Anambra. What was the winning strategy apart from having a roundly qualified candidate and the person of Professor Chieftain? He replied, our strategy was very simple. A consistent message. We had to continuously drum it into the ears of our people that since Apga came into Anambra State in 2006 through Governor Peter Obi and Willow Obiano, that the party has served the people of Anambra State faithfully and passionately. We have been able to drive development in the state in various sectors. Peter Obi did well as a governor when he was with us, but his case was that of somebody who came to start afresh. The state has gone through a lot of decay before Apga emerged in 2006. Before that time, Chris Ngige, who did not win the election, was declared winner in 2003 before we went to court. He tried to work for Anambra people. I will always give it to him, but the circumstances of his becoming governor could not allow his effort to endure. There were crises between him and his godfathers. He was not settled to do any work until the court removed him. If he had stayed longer, he had the zeal to work for the good of the state because he did not have the mandate of the people. We did not allow him to stay. We ensured that we removed him because democracy is about getting into government through the will of the people. using their votes to become whatever one wants to be in a democracy. It does not matter the great things one wants to do. If a mandate is stolen and one wants to do good things with it, it will not go down well. We persisted and persevered in our legal struggle against him, and we got him removed. Is it a coincidence that violence before the election stopped immediately after the election, or were there some people in Anambra State that did not want the election to hold? He replied, "Remember, I said it clearly last year that the upsurge in the insecurity in Anambra was politically motivated. There was signs that some people were working to instill fear in the minds of the citizens so that they would not be eager to participate in the election. You will also recall that when the insecurity became tenuous, the Attorney General and Ministry of Justice called for a state of emergency in Anambra State. What would have meant is that Governor Obiano would have kept aside and some arrangement would be in place for the election to take place. Those things were orchestrated to attempt to reduce the farm group of APGA in Anambra State at that time. When the threat of a state of emergency failed, the killings continued, and I said that immediately after the election, those things would stop, and immediately after the election results were announced, and those things faded away. It gave credence to the belief that we had that the killings were politically motivated. Today, people can come to Anambra State and nobody will be molested. Life has returned to normal. When those things were at its peak, people were scared of coming to Anambra State. Not even the electorate or people of Anambra living the state could come for the election. But 1 week to the election, the ground forces have been mobilized from everywhere to Anambra. We have such a number of policemen, security operatives and soldiers, so people who were scared of coming changed their mind and started coming in the week of the election. Were you at any time convinced that IPOB was the one working against the election as alleged by the federal government? One would not say categorically from where things were coming. The case of Nnamdi Kanu's incarceration on trial was a challenge because this is someone who has been carrying out against the marginalization of his people, and he has been saying that because of the way the Igbo people had been treated in Nigeria negatively, they did not want to be part of Nigeria again. His arrest and detention during the process created tension in Southeast generally. It happened that Anambra had its own election during that period. It was a situation where the people were sympathetic to the plight of Nnamdi Kanu, but constitutionally, there must be an election to fill in a new governor ever since the incumbent would be going. Nnamdi Kanu is still in detention. Some leaders say they're mediating, but the president has said it will go through full process of a court. What do you think is the best way out of his case? He replied, I have always maintained that the federal government needs dialogue to resolve the problems with the IPOB and indeed the entire Igbo land. I have continued to converse this position even when I was at the Senate and when I was yet to be in the Senate. I have always disagreed with the approach of the federal government of Nigeria in dealing with the agitation of Igbo people against the marginalization that suffer in Nigeria. Okay. On this note, we've come to the end of the news. We say thank you for tuning in to listen. Until I come your way next time, enjoy the rest of your day.